Hello, how's everybody? Welcome to Soul Awareness. My name's Jane. Here's another beautiful message for you today. Well, the first card that came out was Come Together. I mean, look at this. And the number 8, working at it. It's gorgeous, right? All I have is that Beatles songs in my head now. If you're old enough to know, you know. Yeah. You know what? I had a dream yesterday that this card right here is telling me something. I don't have revelatory dreams very often, but when I find myself either being held by the face or holding somebody by the face to talk to them in a dream, that's usually the highlighted part, and I wake up remembering that explicit part of the dream. I was in a different country, I have no idea why, but I was working there, enjoying myself and thinking how things can get very routine even when you're in a beautiful different country than your own. And I thought that was kind of weird. You know, it's like, you know, go to work, come back, go to sleep. You know, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You're just kind of doing all the same stuff. But at the same time, there was this lady there with a young child. And for some reason, I don't think she was his mother, but because I was spending a lot of time with this younger child who's maybe my age when I lost my mother, and he had lost his mother. And I remember him not really coming out of his shell about it. He didn't want to speak about it, but he was obviously in pain. There was some, you know, there was some traumatizing there. There was some held back emotions there. And I remember holding him by the face and telling him about losing my mother when I was 7. And telling him that it was okay to feel bad. It was okay to cry. You didn't have to hold it together, because I knew how that felt. I knew that I had to hold myself together because I was never sure of my circumstance. I felt unsafe. And I told him that he was completely safe. And especially with me, that he was safe to, you know, cry, and his little eyes were looking everywhere like, are you sure? And that part of the dream stayed with me. And not because just that it touched me. It's just that I feel that in some ways a lot of us are in a moment of feeling unsafe. We feel like we've got to be very extra vigilant, on our guard. We have to look around and make sure that we're absolutely safe at the moment. It's we live in a very little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs world right now. And I understand that there's this feeling that's coming in. The reason I say it's because he was a child. I was a child. This is the nostalgia childhood memory card, but it's in reverse. And I'm looking at it with this one and thinking, we got to come together, okay? We got to come together and help each other. Past are the days of just trying to handle everything on our own. There's a lot of people who think they should be doing things on their own. They should be calling the shots on their own. They know better than everybody else. And I tell you right now that the world that becomes prosperous and happy is one that has tolerance, flexibility, and friends. Okay? You can't do it without. So it's definitely, okay? I'm going to pull a card for the Come Together card. Yeah, you have the Queen, Mrs. Queen of Resources, or Nurturing Nora, like I like to call her, okay? And she comes in with a message of, look, there's plenty to go around. The earth is built around us to give us everything we need, okay? And sometimes it feels like it says, oh, it's the answer to everything. Maybe not the answer to every single thing, but definitely more than what we are seeking or actually looking. Everybody is so separate from each other that I think we're missing half of the answers. It would be like instead of putting the 10 people who can help you in the room with you to answer the question, we're actually in like soundproof rooms all separated by doors, and one person is asking a question, but nobody in the other rooms can hear them. And it's very hard to work this way and get anywhere. The walls need to come down, and we need to come together, absolutely. Okay? It says, love needs to be expressed. Drawing the come together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms and expressions. Romantic, familiar, unconditional, spiritual. In each instance, there's another being involved. Love involves a give and take between you and someone else. Okay? And this is the give and take card that's in reverse. So it isn't a coincidence. First of all, I don't believe in coincidences. You guys know. Okay? This card says, know that you're cherished. Okay? Attract love in your life. Attract harmony and caring partnerships. We dismiss it. We have no time for it. We're too busy for it. We're not doing anything about it. And what's happening is that we're having huge problems getting anything done. A self-imposed separation all the time. And you know, I can't blame in a way, because that's what we've been seeing. That's what we're taught now. People come together, have children, and don't stay together, right? I'm really hoping at one point that there's a better solution to all of that, because it's not helping anybody. I love how people say people become who they are. People become who they see and what they are exposed to. Programming runs deep, okay? And it's not to say things, but if children become very affected by what they see. Child that comes from a home that is broken and not showing a coming together end up being very independent children. I was such a child. I know. Okay? You start to look and you say, there's no units. There's no, you can't trust anybody. You have to trust yourself. You see people trying to find their person and constantly separating from them, or screwing it up so bad, with my parents' case, that there's no return. There can't even be friendship. There can't even be friendship when children are involved. So all you can think is, I can only rely on myself. I'm the only person I can trust. And even then, sometimes I'm a little scared of that, right? So there's no give and take. There's no working together to make it happen. And then my poor level-headed Lou, my level Lou, the one who knows how much to give, how much to take, well, he doesn't anymore. He either gives too much, he takes too much, and then there's it's almost like, how do I do this? So, since this is a girl in this card, we'll just take reflexives. Well, it could be a guy too with long hair. Doesn't matter. Reflective Rex comes in with this, telling you to re-examine relationships. Okay? In the present moment, right here. Okay? Right today. Not from the past. Not from the past. From right now. What do I look at? How do I do this? Right? What kind of relationship do I work on and foster at this point? Go deep. Okay? Rex is going, go deep. Go deep. Try to figure out, is the way you see relationships today based on what you've seen? Or what you see out there, because you're seeing so many people. But these, remember, these are celebrities. Celebrities have never had... Celebrities from the beginning of time, from Elizabeth Taylor on, have never had relationships that are like, ooh, that's a long time relationship. Okay? There are people out there who try to work on these things. Okay? Who realize that long-lasting relationships are based on many, many aspects. More than just a fiery passion. Okay? More than just preening Pete here. See, preening Pete? More than just a flash in the pan. It's a long-lasting love relationship right here. Okay? So let's see what else comes in for the present moment, the present card. Yeah, it's time for a rebirth. The death of the way you think of things and a rebirth of something new. Now, I like to call him New Dawn Dan. Don't ask me why, it's just fun. Just repeat it after me. New Dawn Dan. He's New Dawn Dan. He knows things, yeah. He knows that, you know, when the new dawn comes, you're going to feel great. And this is exactly what's happening here. This is how this feels. You want to build something new. Okay? Enough of the old. Enough of the doom and gloom. Enough of the, you know, separated and completely torn apart things. Sometimes we need to start thinking like a collective. How are we going to work on this together? We've spent a lot of time going me, 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 me. And that's important. You do have to take care of yourself, absolutely. But how are you going to form a relationship if it's just the world revolves around you only? You have to take into consideration other people around you. I'll give you an example. When you first have a kid, you give them everything, right? Not all about you. It's all about them, right? Then at one point, you start suffering because it is all about them. And you rein it back in. Either when they're old enough or they leave or whatever, it becomes a little bit more about you. We need an equilibrium type thing where love is free, where love is easy. And this is where the cherished chalice comes in. I love that. That's my favorite name to come up with that. Because every Ace of Cups looks absolutely beautiful. Okay? And gorgeous. Really is cherished. And with it, you have Journeying Jack, or Jacqueline in this case, because it's definitely, I feel, a lady. So, let's take Jacqueline here, taking a trip down. I'm out of here. You have to journey, but journey towards the heart. You can see the sun here, okay? Journeying Jacqueline is going, look. Let's take a look at the heart space. Let's take a look at what's really going on. Let's take care of, you know, of fostering a much better feeling than what's out there right now. And just bicker, 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 mine, mine, mine. Like children in a sand pit arguing over the Tonka truck. It's time to work together. Take a page out of the planet, who the entire system works together to make things happen. The trees take the rain, feeds the trees. The root system talks to the other trees. The mushrooms, fungus that has a system that it just goes on and on. The birds takes the seed and spreads it, or the animals. It's not perfection, but there's definitely a lot more harmony there. And in a lot of cases, it's done without much effort. It's just something that happens. It's not so hard. It's not so difficult. It doesn't feel bad. It feels natural. So, you have to go back to Memory Mike, I like to call him, Memory Mike in the past, okay? A lot of cups here showing up, by the way, I feel. And have a little discussion, okay? And since it's in the reverse and it's to come together, it's less about the past and more about a brand new slate. And thinking people more like a resource rather than a chance at pain. Yeah, and make it like come together. This is Culminated Claire. Love her. She wants you to put all the puzzle pieces together. Okay? The puzzle pieces from the past that have kept you from embracing people and things. You know what? I have a thing. I wish people would give other people at least like 30 minutes of their time. Not because I find that it's more important than their lives. I just think that you send a text, nobody answers you back, or everybody's so busy making their plans and stuff happen that they forget the importance of networking and communication. And not networking to get somewhere or get something from somebody. It's networking to connect with other people. You know what I mean? I wish people would take more time with that. A little less scrolling, a little less like, serial scrolling. And taking 30 minutes to connect with somebody who's real, somebody who, has a voice, who's another, beautiful energy on the planet. It would be so great. This is completely one-off here, but I feel that it would be great. And I'm not giving you any crap. I'm actually thinking of myself too. Okay, maybe I should give people 30 minutes too. But it's hard if you're the only one doing it, so you have to, I don't know. How do we start this, you guys? How do we begin? How do we begin to give each other some time? Okay? That's a good question. I'll ask it after we're done this reading. I'm going to ask that question just for craps and giggles. So we have Preening Pete here. Preening Pete is, he's great. But always look at this guy, or this girl, as a selfie queen or king, okay? It even looks like that. Like, here's my selfie stick. I'm looking at myself. Oh, I am so pretty. I look great. I'm not gonna diss it, because I have found love of self in the last couple of years. So absolutely, I think it's important. But it isn't everything. Okay? Yeah. You see, what happens with that is that you have right here, with the Five of Pentacles, you have Shivering Sam, who's alone. There's a key, there's a door, there's people there. See? There's like somewhere, there's somebody there. Okay? But she sits there and it's the same for Preening Pete, because he's kind of like, he's alone. There's nobody around him. Okay? This is emptiness. This is what I feel. I feel like it's an invitation to emptiness, and the thing that we need to do is come together. Emptiness is just not cutting it. You can work at things, you can work at improving yourself, but emptiness is really not serving any purpose. We came here with others. Isn't it a shame that we just can't have communities and enjoy each other's company? Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever think about it for a minute and think, it's so sad that we just can't enjoy each other? Because we can't trust each other, because, nobody's trustworthy, or... So in here you have time for a nap. And time for a nap is not necessarily for a nap of sleeping. Because the King of Swords came out, I call him Mastermind Mike. Mastermind Mike is telling you to go, like, up on a mountain. That's the rest time. That is taking time maybe to think things over. And like myself, like I'm doing right now, questioning, how do I start including other people? What do I do? How do I go about trusting a world that I feel kind of falls off the cliff half the time? You know what I mean? By what I see anyway. The one thing I know deep inside myself, even from this channel, from the people who comment here, is that I'm not alone. There's definitely other people out there who think like me, who are like-minded, who would love to have connections and kindness, right? Connection and kindness would be beautiful. And I think the answer really lies in the next card, which is flexibility. We often judge very quickly what people bring in. It's like you look at something or someone and they do something and right away you judge them, right? Just look at any dating shows, right? Where there's multiple men, one woman, or the other way around, and they go, oh, no, not you, because, I don't know, I don't like your nail color. We really, really, really become fixated on perfection. And what we should be fixated on is abundance, love, community, togetherness. We really should just, I don't know, be more, right? The meaning in this card is rich and varied. That's it, varied. That's a great word. It cautions you to be flexible in your life. Be willing to bend and yield. There are times to stand strong. There are also times to go around. Rather than face it head on and judge. This suggests to be amenable to change. It's also a fantastic card for abundance and prosperity. This card here, and this is a card of abundance and prosperity. And it suggests that if you're flexible, prosperity can and will come your way in all areas. Additionally, it suggests that a time of rapid growth is ahead. Don't resist it. The time is right for the surge of spiritual growth to occur, of wealth to occur, of friendships, of wealth friendships to occur. All of that, okay? So you can apply this to any area of your life, whatever resonates at the moment. Are you being flexible? Are you opening up to things? Are you just prejudging right away? right? Is there no give and take? Right here, flexibility, give and take. It's kind of just together, and all the love cards and resources and coming together. How are you segregating yourself and then standing here thinking that you're full up, right? You post a selfie with you smiling, but you're alone in that picture. There's nobody else there but you. Maybe it's time to just take a look at this and say, how can this be different? The 6 in reverse, the 6 on this card. The 6 in reverse here. There's 2 6s in reverse showing disharmony, because the 6 is the lovers. It's the Daisy and Dean duo, what I like to call. They're separating from each other. And definitely the 8 is having the courage and being brave enough to work at being together, working together. So I'm going to take a few cards from Spirit. I'm going to see here. If they can give me anything. How do we begin? How do we do this? Because to me, I find it very hard. First of all, I don't find social media really great with this. I mean, it's great for, contacting somebody and go, let's meet up. It's great to have clubs and stuff, and again, let's meet up. But to have a real deep connection, I don't know, I've never found that any conversations I've had on social media compared to the ones I've had with people face to face or in a restaurant, meeting up in a restaurant having coffee or something, it's night and day. Yeah, it's night and day. All right, so all right, so let's pull 4 cards here. I'm going to pull 4. There's that cherished chalice again. Okay? Alright, spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Wheel spinner, here we go. It's the great spinner. It's the great spinner. Okay, so first you have the ignited inspiration card. There you go. Ignite it, light it, feel it. You have to be inspired to want to make a connection to people. And how do you do that? Well, you have the person that I like to call Waiting Wendell or Measuring Mike, but in this case it's a lady here in the card, but it doesn't matter. Waiting Wendell says, well, or Measuring Mike, because, I mean, both of them fit, says that you got to kind of measure and wait to see who can possibly be. It's about a card of assessment, right? It's about picking different things to see if they work, right? It's planting the seed and seeing what comes up. So I think you've got to really do that. You've got to plant the seed, in other words, call the person or meet up with the person and just kind of give it a shot. Without the judgment that if it doesn't work out, that you're to give up. It just means that you need to continue doing the work. You need to continue to assess where, how, when you might fit in, right? And then, of course, you have the cherished chalice, which is put your heart into it. Don't just do it kind of half, done. Believe in the fresh start that that means, okay? for friendship, a fresh start for friendships. Let your heart take flight in these things, okay? Bring yourself to the party, not just half of yourself. And the great spinner coming in, it's like, if this doesn't work the first time, spin again, okay? Spin that wheel again. Don't stop. Do the cycle shift and continue trying. Build a community of people that you can talk to. Not every single one of them has to be an end-all and be-all in your life, but vary your connections. Vary the people that you know. And keep the connection. Don't just have one and done. If you like somebody, keep it going. Okay? Take the time to answer texts, even if you don't have the time to have a conversation. Let people know that, thank you. I will get back to you soon. I'm, knee deep in something. Build yourself some texts that make people feel seen without feeling dismissed. Make the effort to have a network of people that bring resources, richness, different opinions in your life, and be open, okay, for the give and take. Don't expect perfection. And keep assessing the fits, how things fit together. I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming in and listening in. This is my other channels, Life Path Number Tarot. If you click on it, it will explain how to find your life path number. And I post short weekly messages there that you can listen to for your number. Over here is going to be a playlist of different videos you might like to watch that I've posted on this channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you a lot of love, light, and blessings. I will see you tomorrow.